I once embarked on a religious pilgrimage, the likes of which no Indian weeb has ever been. Except the ones who are too old, too fat, and have no life. I traveled across all the anime events, the Comic Cons, the cosplay competitions, any event that is related to something Japanese. By the way, crazy of how many of those actually exist. Like, I have been to events called Konichiwa. That's right, plural. I don't know what part of their brain makes the event planner goes, yes, Konichiwa is the perfect name for a Japanese event that are being held in India. It's probably the same part of their brain that made them quit engineering and become event planner in the first place. But anyways, through my experience, I figured out the perfect master plan to game these events. So let's get right down to it. Step 1 is to prepare yourself. I'm not joking. See, there is a very common syndrome when weebs go to an anime convention for the first time. It's called Bitchless Weebs Falls in Love with the First Round That Talks to Him syndrome. I didn't name it. It's a very common condition that is observed in cons. For example, at Comic Con there are volunteers that are there solely to hype you up. They greet you at the entrance. And I personally saw a guy melt into a puddle as a girl told him, "Welcome to Comic Con," and gave him a high five. That motherfucker was so embarrassed that he confessed that this was the most female interaction that he had had in the whole year. And by looking at him, you could tell that was true. See, the whole reason you are going to the con is to meet people who share same hobbies as you. So be fucking prepared to engage in conversations. I mean, come on, I know you are obviously socially awkward, you watch fucking anime all the time, but all the people there are in the same boat as you. They are gonna blame themselves just as much as you blame yourself when you can't strike up a conversation. So you should also blame them for your failed attempt at conversation and be blame free. It's simple maths. Alright, now step 2 to go to an anime event. You go, you book your overpriced ticket, and then you show up to the con. Sir, you have made an enormous mistake. You are not in cosplay. See, I know your lazy ass is comfortable enough showing up to an event in your jeans and black hoodie, but if you could just fucking commit to the idea of cosplaying, like, goddamn, I don't even want to talk about the obvious bitches that are gonna be on your dick, but there are fucking rewards and shit. People approaching you for a reel and invitation to the secret after party. You will be like a fucking wizard among all the muggle bloods that have shown up just as it is. Now step 3 is actually something that I've gained through experience. Be cringe. That's right. You know, in these sort of events, if you go for the first time, you are often in the side judging the people who are acting like chunibiyos. Like, just looking at them gives you heart attacks of second-hand embarrassment. Like, how the fuck are they on the stage loudly mispronouncing proper cringe-ass lines in Japanese from Naruto? Or just fucking pretend sword fighting? Or dancing the Haruhi Suzumiya dance? Actually, the last part is kind of cool. But to be fair, if you're actually gonna do some of these quote-unquote cringe things, it almost feels liberating. See, you are gonna be constantly laughing at yourself as you do it, of course, but it's such a better experience to be laughing at yourself doing cringe shit with some possible new friends than just standing alone looking at it from far away. Now, step 4 is to do what I do. Deception. See, I did tell you to be prepared for human interactions, but there is a chance that you are unlucky enough to not even get a chance to engage in human interaction there. And that is a really bad thing. Like, the most fun part about being in a con is to interact with fellow human beings who share the same interest as you. And you have also paid to be there. You don't want your overpriced tickets to go to waste, so you make a YouTube video. Let me explain. In one of these events I went to, I met a guy who was just everywhere. You see the most prettiest cosplayers, he's asking them which fictional character will you fuck, kill or marry. The most sought out after influencers, he's asking them their top 5 animes. The prettiest girls there who are not even in the cosplay, he's asking them to say hi for the vlog. So I asked him, "Hey buddy, what's your YouTube channel?" And he went, "Oh no, I don't have one yet. I'm making this for my first YouTube video ever." And I was like, bruh, anybody can do that. Surely, that's the best freaking way to experience the con, even if you are not going to upload the video ever. And now, let's move on to the last step. Step 5. which I wasn't going to include until I went to my most recent anime event, where I actually got recognized. Not for my YouTube video or anything, of course, but just a group of friends came up to me and were like, "Oh, I saw you in X, Y, and Z event where you were always typing something in your phone and laughing to yourself." And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And they were like, "Oh, you must really like anime." And I was like, "Yeah, I love anime. And I also read manga and light novels." And they were immediately wet. But yeah, as it turns out, there is an advantage to regularly attending these events. You do get to be a part of the community even if you are not doing anything except writing your monologues in your notes the entire time.
El que quiera pedir su tiempo, entre a mi perfil.